Well, hello and welcome, time travelers, and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning history one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 451 when, according to tradition, Vienna was founded. In 1306, the Arena or Scrivani Chapel, containing frescoes by Giotto, was considered in Padua, Italy. Robert the Bruce, crowned Scottish King of Scone, on this day in 1306, freed Scotland from English rule, winning the distinctive Battle of Brockburn in 1314 and confirming Scottish independence in the Treaty of Northampton in 1328. On this day in 1605, Dutch mathematician and astronomer Christian Hings discovered Titan, the largest moon of Saturn. If I'm not mistaken, Saturn has, I want to say, 7 moons. For some reason, 7 stands out, and so does 9. I'm not sure if Saturn has 7 and Uranus has 9, or vice versa. Moving on to 1807, when the British Parliament abolished the slavery trade in the British West Indies. 1881 brought us Hungarian composer Bela Bartók was born in Nagyszímakolas, Hungary, Austria-Hungary, which is now Sancolo Maria, Romania. In 1911, a fire at the Triangle Shirtwaters factory in New York City killed 146 people, prompting the creation of the health and safety legislation. 7 years later, in 1918, French composer Claude Debussy, whose works were seminal force in the music of the 20th century, passed away at the age of 55. Our next stop will be in 1934, when American feminist and activist Gloria Steinem led a leading activist of the women's libertarian movement, who helped found Miss Magazine in 1972, was born. In 1943, Chester C. Davis was named Food Administrator by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. 4 years later, in 1947, British singer, composer, and pianist Sir Elton John, who is known for both his popular music and his stylish showmanship, was born. I don't remember if on February 24th, if I did anything about when he was knighted, but he was knighted on February 24th, 1998 with several other people. And Sir Elton John and anyone else who was knighted with and has the title Sir or Lady, they will retain that title even after the Queen, like he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. Let's say King Charles would knight people. And the amount of time from when he was coronated as king to the time of his death, anyone that was knighted in that period, let's say he would favor anyone, and he would knight them, and they would get the title Sir or Lady. They will retain that title even after they have passed, like the king or queen has passed. And they will also retain that title even after that person has passed as well. For example, Sir Isaac Newton, he was knighted. I don't remember exactly which king or queen was king or queen at the time, but he was knighted. Anyway, 10 years later, in 1957, the Treaties of Rome were signed, establishing the European Community and the European Atomic Energy Committee. In 1965, brought us two events. The first event was when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil activists or civil rights activists completed their march from Salem to Montgomery, Alabama. Two previous marches had been halted by local police. And the second event is when American actress Sarah Jessica Parker, who was perhaps best known for her role on the television series Sex and the City from 1998 to 2004, was born. 10 years later? No. Yeah, 10 years later, in 1975, King Faisal of Saudi Arabia was shot to death by his nephew. Now, if you've ever seen a $100 bill from 1995 or earlier, you've seen an older design, because in 1996, the U.S. issued newly redesigned $100 bill. I'm not quite sure what the difference was in them, but I'm sure it was like ever so subtle. Moving on to this century, in 2002, when a 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck the Hindu Kush region of northern Afghanistan, causing more than 1,000 deaths. Now, in 2009, when a roadside bomb hits a minibus traveling near Sazamandan in eastern Afghanistan, where 9 civilians were killed. And finally, 3 years ago, in 2021, American children's author Beverly Cleary, whose books included a hugely popular Romania series, passed away at the age of 104. And with that, we return to 2024 and our current history. Until next time.